So, let's talk about Hamlet. But here's the thing. The story doesn't even start with the prince. Nope, it kicks off in the dead of night, on this terrifyingly spooky castle wall. Shakespeare doesn't ease you in at all. He just throws you right into the deep end, head first into this mystery that's going to tear a whole kingdom apart.
Think about this. The entire play kicks off with this one sharp question. Who's there? It's just shouted into the pitch-black darkness at Elsinore Castle. It's midnight, it's spooky, and bam! Right from the get-go, you're on edge. You have no idea who's talking, or who they're even talking to. All you feel is this raw fear and confusion.
And the reply he gets? "'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart." Now, you know he's not just talking about the chilly weather, right? Sick at heart. That one phrase tells you everything about the vibe here. There's this deep, gnawing unease, a kind of spiritual sickness that has nothing to do with the temperature.
And then, not a mouse stirring. It's this silence that really gets you, you know? It's not a peaceful quiet. It's this heavy, unnatural silence. The kind of quiet that feels like the whole world is just holding its breath, waiting for something to snap.
And then, boom, there it is. The silence is just shattered. Peace, break thee off, look where it comes again. Something appears, and it is so terrifying that it literally stops them mid-sentence, and you realize, oh man, this isn't the first time. They've seen this thing before, and it's back. So right here, this is the heart of the mystery we're diving into. We're on these castle ramparts with a bunch of absolutely terrified soldiers, and they're just trying to wrap their heads around this supernatural thing that feels like it could bring their whole world crashing down.
Okay, so let's get a look at who we're dealing with. You've got the two guards, Bernardo and Francisco, but tonight they've brought backup. And it's a big deal. It's Horatio. Now, Horatio is Hamlet's best friend. He's a scholar, and this is the important part. He's a total skeptic. He's the guy who doesn't believe in ghosts. They've dragged him out here because they need a rational, educated person to see what they've already seen twice, this dreaded sight.
And then, the bombshell drops. The ghost isn't just some random spirit. It looks exactly like the king. The recently dead King Hamlet, the former ruler of all of Denmark, is just walking the castle walls, in his full armor. In a second, this goes from being a scary ghost story for a few guards to a full-blown national crisis. Yeah, like Horatio says, this whole thing bodes some strange eruption to our state. And to really get why a ghost appearing is such a big deal, we gotta look past the spooky castle walls and see the political mess that's brewing inside Denmark. And wow, this timeline really shows you the chaos. Just look how fast all this went down. So, first, King Hamlet dies. Okay. Then, in less than 2 months, I mean, come on, his brother, Claudius, is suddenly the new king. And if that wasn't enough, he marries his own brother's widow, Queen Gertrude. It is a shockingly fast and, frankly, super creepy transfer of power.
So you've got all this drama on the inside, right? But wait, there's more. On the outside, you've got this external threat. This young guy, Fortinbras of Norway, he's getting an army together. Why? He wants to attack Denmark and take back the land his dad lost to the old King Hamlet. So the kingdom is shaky from the inside and threatened from the outside. A ghost of the former king showing up right now, man, that feels like a very bad sign.
And here comes the new king, Claudius, trying to put a pretty bow on this whole mess. Just listen to the words he uses. Mirth in funeral, dirge in marriage. I mean, what does that even mean? He's trying to spin this, to pretend everything is stable and happy, but the words themselves just scream how twisted and unnatural the whole thing really is. Okay, so you have this whole royal court full of fake smiles and politics, but right in the middle of it all, there's one person who is just not having it. He refuses to play along, and that's the old king's son, Prince Hamlet. This really lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the court with all its talk of defeated joy and mirth and funeral. It's all a performance. And on the other side, you've got Hamlet. He's not performing. His grief is 100% real. His inky cloak and suits of woe, those are just the outside signs of a sadness so deep, as he says, it passes show. You can just feel how completely alone he is. And this is the very first thing we hear Hamlet say in the whole play. It's this quiet, bitter comment about his new uncle/stepdad, Claudius. And in one genius little pun, Shakespeare shows us everything. Hamlet's razor-sharp mind and his total disgust for the new king. He's a little more than kin, because now Claudius is a stepfather, but he is definitely less than kind. There's nothing natural or good about this new family setup.
But when we get to hear what he's really thinking in his first big solo speech, his anger is laser-focused on his mom, Gertrude. I mean, frailty, thy name is woman. To him, her remarrying so quickly feels like this massive betrayal of his dad's memory. It's a weakness so complete in his eyes that he just kind of slaps that label on all women.
So, we all know Hamlet's famous lines, right? They're some of the most famous words ever written. But what if I told you that the version of Hamlet you read in school might not be the only version? Yeah, the text itself has this really cool secret hidden inside.
It's kind of a weird thought, isn't it? We tend to think of these classic plays as being carved in stone, like there's one official version. But the truth is, there really is no single, true version of Hamlet.
Yep, that's right. Back in the 1600s, at least 3 different versions of the play got published. Some were shorter, some were way longer. They had different words, sometimes even totally different scenes. It's kind of like having a theatrical cut, a director's cut, and an extended edition of the same movie.
So what this means is that modern editors have to basically be detectives. They have to compare these old versions, the small paperbacks called quartos and the big fancy collection called the folio, and piece together the play we read today. And why should you care? Well, because it reminds us that this story is a living thing. The version you've read is a careful construction, a choice an editor made. It makes every single one of those famous lines feel even more powerful, knowing it was chosen.
Okay, so let's get back to the story. We're back on those freezing cold castle walls. The night watch is over, the sun's coming up, and these guys have a huge decision to make. What on earth do you do when you've just seen a ghost, and it's the ghost of the king?
And it's Horatio, the smart one, the scholar, who makes the call. He figures it out. This spirit, it's dumb to us, he says. It won't talk to them, but it will definitely talk to its own son. The mission is clear. They have to tell Hamlet.
So they find him. And Prince Hamlet is still just swimming in his grief right after that super awkward and tense scene with his mom and new stepdad. And now, Horatio, his best friend, has to somehow break through all that sadness and deliver a piece of news that is going to change, well, everything.
And you can just feel the tension in this moment. Horatio says, "My lord, I think I saw him yesternight." And Hamlet's response is just, "Saw who?" You can hear the confusion. And then Horatio delivers the line that changes the entire play. "My lord, the king your father." It's real. The ghost is real. His father is back. And that's where we're going to leave it for now. Just think about it. All the pieces are on the board. You've got a prince who's drowning in grief. You've got a kingdom that's basically built on a suspicious, rushed marriage. And now you have a voice from beyond the grave with a message. The stage is set, and the biggest question of all is just hanging there. What is this ghost going to say?